Hey, Chop here, and today I want to talk about what I've been up to in the past month. So, sorry for the sudden disappearance. With V Rising, it feels like I got the enjoyment that I wanted from the update, but more importantly, I unfortunately have problems with my hands playing games like this where it gets pretty taxing over time. So, playing it for a couple months, I felt like I really needed a break at that point. But that said, I'll probably be back from time to time. And if Stunlock comes out with anything new, I will almost certainly be revisiting whatever they're up to. But anyways, that leads me to what I've been doing, which is learning game development. Now this is something I'd tried a bit in the past, but I'd never really given a proper shot at improving at it. So this time round, I wanted to really try and learn it and get to the point where I could actually make something good. So when I first started, I was playing around in Unity. I just kind of assumed this was the most common and the industry standard, so it made the most sense. But the more I was looking at videos and tutorials, I noticed a lot of people were talking about Godot, which has had a huge surge in popularity in the past year especially, and among indie developers it's become a very, very popular choice for a game engine. So I ended up giving Godot a shot, and damn, it feels so much better. Like it's more intuitive, and it felt like I just had a better understanding of what I was doing. It has a really nice layout, all the tools just feel really simple to use. So I had a 3D project that I'd started in Unity, but I ended up moving this to a 2D project in Godot. I felt like most of the things I wanted to do, I didn't need 3D anyway, and with me swapping engine as well, it just kind of made sense to restart the project with a different kind of scope. Now something else I'd heard is the fact that joining game jams is one of the best ways to quickly improve at development. For anyone that doesn't know, a game jam is an event where you are given a category and then you have a fixed number of days to make a game, a demo, or just a working proof of concept that matches the category by the deadline. And it turns out just a week after I started learning Godot, there was a game jam starting, GMTK, which is one of the biggest annual game jams. I also ended up talking to a friend about this who is equally new to game development, and asked if he's interested in doing the art and music for this. This has always been the area where I fell short in the most, for sure, and with so many different skills required for game development, it made sense to have someone help out who would probably be better suited for those parts of the project. I showed him the basics of what I knew about Sprite and Beatbox, which are two very good tools for indie developers in pixel art and music respectively. And then from there we both had about a week to get some practice in before the game jam started. So fast forward to the jam, and we met up to talk about some ideas. The jam's theme ended up being a loop, and we knew straight away we needed to try and keep the scope of this small. That means you want something simple that you know that you'll be able to execute within the time frame. It's one of the most frequent mistakes I've heard that even more experienced developers can commonly make. So coming in as people that were brand new to this, who were going to take a lot longer to do even the most basic stuff, we needed to make sure we had a simple idea. Some of the things we talked about to fit in with the looping theme was some kind of like top-down racer, something like the Google dinosaur game, but we ended up deciding on a Line Rider inspired game where after reaching the end you would be looping back to the start. The idea would be that with every loop, the jump at the end to get to the next one would get progressively harder. At first we were thinking a man in a ball for this, but we ended up having a lemur that curls up into a ball, and then when it does a jump it flies out. The initial idea was having this one button control scheme where you press the button to increase your gravity, fall quickly to try and keep your momentum. We iterate over time on this idea, we end up having randomly generated track, we improve the movement with a jump mechanic after you've held the button down for a certain amount of time. We also have camera zoom that like matches with the speed you're going. And finally we had music that would change every time you did a loop as well. Unfortunately, some of these mechanics came back to bite us a bit, with the camera zooms making it difficult to get a good background, and the randomly generated tracks making it hard to implement a ground texture that we had in mind. We were initially planning on doing a parallax background, which is a cool effect where you have different parts of the backgrounds moving at like different rates, but we were struggling to get anything properly working with all the stuff we had playing around with the camera. So we ended up compromising with a very simple palette background, and it felt like a huge weak point of the overall look in the end. We also got feedback on camera being a bad spot to see your landings, so in hindsight that's something that also would have liked to have changed. A part of this jam also involves rating other participants' games. The top 100 are then manually reviewed, and the top 20 are the winners. Now, while we don't have the results yet, the voting closes shortly after this video, and with almost 10k entries, Lima Loops has 9 ratings. I don't think it's going to be coming home with Lima Loops this time around, but despite the things I'd want to change, I'm happy looking back with what we submitted and hope to improve from here. Like overall, we played things pretty safe, and even then our execution could have been so much better. So I've really been enjoying my time so far, and looking forward I'll be working more on my main project, which I'll share more about once I've got more to show. There's also another jam, the Brackies game jam, in just under a month, so my friend and I were probably going to have a shot at that as well. Now, if you want to check out Lima Loops, there will be a link to the itch.io page in the description to give that a go. I'd also recommend checking out some of the other games from the jam. I think I particularly like, there's one called Iteration 101, which is a really clever like puzzle platformer. There's one called like Metal Man 3, which is just like a really fun kind of like speed running sort of 3D platformer type game. That one's also really good. And yeah, I'd just recommend having a look around on there. There's a lot of cool games. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this new style of video, and have a good day. I'll see ya.